The first election I ever paid attention to was Kerry Bush in 2004. And I'm noticing a lot of similarities because during that time, they made it seem like George Bush was Darth Vader, right? It's almost like they had you believing that literally half the country was evil. Literally, just evil. Like, I'm talking about, if you go outside, you're going to run into a rabid animal, right? That's the way they reported on that election. And in this election between Trump and Kamala, they're doing the same thing. It's almost like a psyop, which is the title of this video. Are the Democrats running a psyop on America? Because if you were to listen to the Democratic Party, you ought to go outside and literally see people doing the 1942 German salute anywhere you go, right? If you were to listen to them and truly pay attention to them, they'd have you believe that the average Trump supporter or anyone that votes for Trump is a part of some cult and could not have any valid reason for voting for the man whatsoever, which to me is a sign of the fact that I think the Democratic Party is comprised of a lot of people who are unhinged, right? A lot of people who are indoctrinated through academia and an echo chamber that just for whatever reason can't bring themselves to see the world through the eyes of anyone else. Which I know, nobody can really do that, but what I mean by that is the ability to relate to somebody and disagree. I believe that Democrats are completely incapable of that for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason. I think that they have assigned themselves a moral high ground that's cult-like in a way that they describe about other people. Meaning that if you believe yourself to have such a moral high ground that you can condemn other people for beliefs that are different from yours, you're problematic. And as a matter of fact, you probably couldn't be a very happy person. So I thought to myself, I said, do you know any liberals? And yes, I do. I know hyper leftists in my family. I'm generally left, right? I believe that I believe in Social Security. I believe in Medicaid. I believe in food stamps. I believe in Section 8. I think people should have that because that's the morality of the country I want to live in. I want to live in a country that helps the poor, right? But I also want to live in a country that rewards hard work and allows individual freedoms, right? And has a moral foundation. That has a moral foundation in Christianity. Not that you have to be Christian or subscribe to those beliefs, but I do think that it makes for a better foundation for a nation as opposed to other religions. And people believe in the separation of church and state. Yeah, to a degree, but for the most part, a lot of people need the belief that somebody is watching them when nobody else is in order to be moral. For whatever reason, we're just flawed creatures like that as human beings. But I digress. Like I said, anytime I ever thought about anybody who's a Democrat that I know, there's an element of unwellness to them. I don't see them as happy people, right? I see them as kind of weak and whiny, and they may say that about Trump supporters or Republicans generally, but man, as I went to vote the other day, and I look at Democrats now, I'm not talking about the boomers, right? I think boomers had nothing to be upset about. Realistically, they had the greatest economy the human race has ever seen. Like I said, boomers had the best economy that the world has ever known, right? For the most part, the known world has ever known. And they had no reason to be upset. But like I said, again, as I went around during early voting in Georgia, what I noticed was in the line, I don't see a lot of happiness people who I can tell are Democrats. Now, people want to say that you can't tell a Democrat from a Republican or a Trump supporter from a Democrat. You're kidding yourself. You are absolutely kidding yourself. Now, with black males, maybe you probably couldn't tell, because I'm sure a lot of people couldn't tell whether I was a Democrat or Republican. Because honestly, I vote down ballot Democrat because I'm not a political hardliner. Now, the problem with Democrats, the problem I'm seeing with liberals is that if you are not a Democratic hardliner, you are evil. That's how they see the world. So what I was saying before is that what I'm noticing with people who see the world in those kind of platitudes and just discuss politics in platitudes, they don't seem to be very happy people. And I'm talking about Republicans either. Republicans, if they're hardline Republicans, they seem kind of rigid and angry. I wouldn't say unhappy, angry. But when you talk to a Democrat that is a hardliner, well, I'm not just gonna say Democrat, but like a liberal that's a hardliner, especially like a woman, they seem like unwell. They seem unhinged. There's an unhinged, just weird element to them. Like you can tell that they probably take medication or something. That's what they look like to me. Like they're depressed, you know. And what I was saying about the Democratic Party and politics as a whole, it seems like they're taking advantage of that element and just gassing them in a way that would only work with somebody who's unwell. Because if you go through the channels and look and just really listen to how they talk, again, they talk as if we didn't have Trump for 4 years prior. They have the most fatalist language I have ever heard. That is the most ridiculous. It is the most ridiculous in nature I've ever heard American politics discussed. And I'm talking about, really, it's been a ridiculous 4 years because Joe Biden was in mental decline and everyone could see it, and they just told us we're crazy. And this is something I keep seeing on the left. They just keep telling you you're crazy. Anyone voting for Donald Trump is just crazy and evil and just, they're going to take the world over and you're going to wake up and your life is not going to, man, let me tell you something. If Trump becomes president, chances are very little in your life will change. And Trump will come into the presidency as a lame duck. And really, you have to worry about Vivek Ramaswamy or J.D. Vance. That's really what you got to worry about if you're a Democrat. Trump is not anything to worry about. And the fact that they're trying to make it seem like that is something that I think is indicative of something that's wrong with them internally, right? I think that some people on the left want to assign an identity to America that really isn't there, and I feel like they see the election of Trump as a rebuke of everything they want America to be, right? In terms of how they see the world, right? They just want to just pretend like other people don't exist. Whereas I believe, like, on the Trump side of the game, that they're pretty much a little more open to the belief that people can not see your point of view, but still be worthy of respect. I do not believe that Democrats believe that at this point. And if you look at the media, this is a psyop. This is literally some kind of psyop to just demonize 50% of the country. Because honestly, if you go outside, the average Trump supporter will hold the door for you, say hello to you. And I'm a black man, and I'm saying that, I'm not saying that racism isn't real. I'm not saying that white tea supremacy isn't real. But honestly, man, sometimes you got to lay off. You got to lay off. They're laying it on thick because I believe they don't really have much to offer. And I think a lot of the country thinks the far left is exchange. It's kind of strange, and they've hijacked the party. So we'll see. But I don't see how they win with this, because they look weird, and they don't look weird to anybody. They don't look weird to themselves, but they look weird to anybody else looking on. But we'll see.